So as I knew was going to be the case, because I'm smart, I can predict shit. That was knocking, that was FedEx. Vitacost sent all 20 replacements in a giant fucking box. Let's see if they're piled on top of each other. Let's see if they arrived all leaking. I'm not wearing a bra, so I can't talk. I just want to register this. And the Canon printer came too, which again doesn't have any accessories. It's just the box, just the printer. And then if I can get to a FedEx, I can't. I don't know. I could probably carry the damn printer, take the buses or whatever. FedEx, I don't know what the fuck FedEx is. Moment of truth. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it. I can do it talking to you. I used to do talking videos too. Believe it or not, very rarely. I'll give you that. Very rarely, but I did, probably because I was saying something interesting. This isn't exactly interesting, but I, years ago, had talking videos that wound up with over 100 views. And over 100 views for me is good. Remember, I don't get thousands of views for the most part. So, over 100 is good. I have my more popular videos for anything 100 or more, and then my most popular 500 or more. So, the reason I have so many total views is because I have 13,000 videos, give or take. That's why I have, so many. I don't know. How many it's like in the millions now of views. But any given video doesn't have a lot of views. I just have a lot of fucking videos because I've turned this shit for the past 12 years into my, I don't know. Obviously, I get something out of it. It allows me to be connected with you guys, but safely. Okay? You could say that's lonely and boring. Well, yeah. But it's better than nothing. And again, I did try. I dipped my feet in the water a little bit with Book Guy, and I tried dipping my feet in the water with some other guys from the personal ads. I was supposed to meet this guy one time at the movies so that he could rub my bare legs in the movie theater. And remember that this was 9 years ago. And this is when I had got out of the shelter, and I was thin again. Okay, I'm a good 40 pounds heavier now, but it didn't matter. This guy, I was upset about something. Obviously something having to do with my mother, because it's always having to do with my mother and Marion and family and this and that and whatever, but he wound up changing his mind and rejecting me, okay? I wasn't mad at him. He couldn't deal with words on paper, which is essentially ink on because, and I don't know if he was afraid of me or whatnot, but he liked me up until then, and then he changed his mind. And it was all because of what I'd written. And again, I was just venting. And what pisses me off even more, I told you guys this story when it happened, but again, I have not a million, but I have so many new viewers. I couldn't even believe it, actually. I'm like, I'm being rejected for getting angry, okay? Yet the things, I don't remember what he told me. I'll admit that. I don't remember what he told me about himself. But the things he was saying about himself, I'm like, you're saying that about yourself, but you're turned off by me for writing angry shit in a message to you where I was just venting about something I was upset about. And then he wouldn't admit it, the motherfucker. Just be honest with me. I had to get it out of him because he was trying to make excuses. Finally, I said to him, because again, I'm smart. I might be fucked up and lonely and bored and sexually frustrated and the whole 9 yards. Because again, sexually frustrated is to me, sex is in the mind. Okay, let's just put it that way. 100%. But I'm smart. I'm aware. I knew, and he didn't want to admit it. And I kept badgering him. Like seriously, I kept badgering him, and he finally admitted it. He's like, "You're right. Your message that turned me off." I'm like, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. And that's not the only example. I had another one who I wasn't. I was attracted to this guy. Okay. I had another one who I wasn't really attracted to per se. But he was, and he thought he had the right to tell me, like, how I should be in pictures, in my personal ad pictures. He's like, you should be wearing heels. You shouldn't be having a picture where your bed's you're standing with your bed's unmade. It makes you look like you just had sex. Like, fuck you. You're a stranger. You know what? That's a portend. Is portend a word? Like a a portent of what's to come. Is that a word? That's like a foreshadowing. I think portend is that too. A foreshadowing of how these men are going to behave, okay? This guy couldn't hit. He can write all kinds of shit. That's the thing. He wasn't some goody two-shoes, okay? I don't go after goody two-shoes. He wasn't some goody two-shoes. He was going to rub my bare legs in the movie theater. Because again, that's how I wound up with Foot Guy. I was trying to dip my feet in the water without being in a position where I'd be expected to have actual sex. I wasn't prepared to have actual sex with anybody, but I just wanted to be touched by someone else. But I was attracted, to whom I was attracted. That's what I was doing with the personal ads back in 2013, so 9 years ago. Right? That's what I wanted. I wanted something safe where I could just have some affection, some whatever, and have it be safe. It doesn't mean I would never have sex again, but remember, I was extremely abusive sexually as well. If your guy crawls on top of you and doesn't care if you're ready and doesn't care if you're excited and just does his business and whatever, then that's sexually abusive. It's not sexually abusive as in the guy can be arrested. It's just not nice to treat your partner that way. Okay, it's not it just makes you feel like, if you're a woman, like you're a penis receptacle. Unless you're a woman who doesn't like sex, and then you want the guy to just, but then again, Donald was on all these psych meds, so he would last forever. And it would be so, you know what I mean? It'd be awful. I'd just be praying for it to be over, but that's towards the end of our farce of relationship. In the beginning, he would at least deign to go down on me, even though he'd do it as quickly as possible, and he'd try to smother, you know, I can't get too loud or the neighbors are going to hear it, you know. Just try to smother down my cries of excitement. Anyhow, point being, what was my point? I don't know. Oh, just that I'm lonely and bored. It's better than nothing. But again, I dipped my feet in the water with Foot Guy, And I also was having back and forth with some other men through the personal ads. And I don't do that unless I have a picture, so I'm attracted to the guy, at least somewhat. But I forget how I started talking about this. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that how these guys acted was a foreshadowing of how they would act in real fucking life. Okay? Trying to control me, trying to getting upset because I'm angry at something, but being hypocritical because the way you're talking to me about shit, you're no goody two shoes. I forget what he had said to me, but it really pissed me off because I was testing the waters. Like, I can't say this to you, but you're going to say all this personal shit that indicated your type of anger into me. But I can't do the same with you. Again, I'm not mad at you, just like when you told me your story, and I can't remember, you weren't mad at me. It's just a double standard. It's just whatever. And here I am, this knockout, and the guy's complaining because I'm in sneakers instead of in high heels in my pictures that at least I'm uploading honest pictures. So many people lie on personal ads anyway, and I had totally 100% honest pictures to such a point that even when I gained some weight, I would upload new pictures just so I was being honest. And then I have you complaining. And this guy that I liked, I liked him because what he wrote in his thing, he wasn't so boring, and I'd been back and forth with him for weeks before we were gonna do the mall thing, And the foot guy, that he agreed to do the mall thing, and I rubbed my back on the bench, and it worked out good. And then I shouldn't have gone to his car because he could have been a psycho. But I threw caution to the wind a little bit. As he wanted to get his hands and mouth on my feet, and that intrigued me. I'd never had that happen, I'd never experienced that before. I didn't know, actually, he wanted to get his hands on my feet. I didn't know it would but it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon and very crowded in the mall where his car was, packed in a million people all around. So, I felt a little bit, I just, you have to take some chances in this life. But he was saying shit to me, Again, it goes back to I had nothing in common with him except mutual physical attraction. You never even know if that's going to be the case, because just because I'm 100% honest with my pictures doesn't mean the men are. And I know that I've heard most women and men are not honest at all in those fucking personal ads. But that's not me. See? Yeah, it was a needle in the haystack before the pandemic, and now it's a needle in a billion haystacks. Life is something else. I'm talking to you, I'm postponing. Actually, I don't want to step out without my bra on. I told you my boobies are not, I'm in my 50s too. But I gotta get this box, and I gotta put shoes on too. It's the biggest box I've ever seen. I hope they packed them good. It's still the biggest box I've ever seen. But I hope they arrived in good condition. Because these are a big mess. I don't lie. I don't lie. I might lie a little bit out here, like I said, to protect my location, to protect certain things about me or my mom. But I don't lie in general, so I'm not making it up. And sometimes they'll say, well, you need to send pictures. This guy didn't even tell me to send pictures. I am still going to send pictures. They probably don't even give a fuck about the pictures. I just want it documented. I guess it goes back to, like I said, I used to, if I was sick, one way or the other, one end or the other, when I was living with Dad and Diane, because I was just a fucked up little girl, and wanting so much to please my father, and it was never going to please him because he was an abuser. You don't please an abuser. In fact, your tears, stop your crying, stop your whining, your mom's crazy, just accept it. I'm going to ship you back to your crazy mother. I'm going to throw you out the window. That was when we were supposed to go out for Diane's birthday, and I had a bad sunburn. And then I was still trying to study for tests and stuff with tears were going down my eyes. But any case, you can't please an abuser. That's the bottom line. Anyone, if you've been in an abusive relationship, you can't please an abuser. Okay? The more you try to please them, the more they get off in their power over you and hurting you. And like I told you, I've had a very colorful life, and I've had a lot of fucking shit. And then I stayed in that emergency domestic violence shelter in California, in a hidden location where you're not allowed to leave because you're not allowed to have any outside contact, no phone calls, nothing. And if they let us go to the store one time and we'd have to walk in a line behind each other, I do remember that, but nobody knows who we are. It's all hidden. It's to protect the women in there who are in danger of being killed. They don't want the men to know. And but my case manager in there, men will have to go to court and they'll have to take classes, and she taught the classes. She was in an abusive relationship, okay, and she escaped it, and now she's part of helping other women. And she told me outright, so obviously those men are not repentant. The court ordered them to go to take her class on domestic violence, domestic abuse, and they taunt her. And she said some of them would come up to me, Laura, and they would say, "I can spot one of you a mile away." Okay. So you add that to my naturally trusting nature, in that if someone's really good at tricking me, like I said, I don't trust anybody or anything. But there are people who can be very, very so good at it that you let your guard down. And you can say, well, that makes for a very boring, lonely life. Yeah, well. C'est la vie! Alright. This box is the biggest Vitacost box I've ever received in my life. I am going to put a bra on. And shoes. Worked out good. I told you about that Chantel bra. It had nothing to do with me gaining weight or whatever. Just with bras with women, these little things on the back, if they're not on really good, like if they're not a real good sturdy bra, like my what calls are, they unhook. The little thing comes off, and then you can't use the bra. And this has lasted good. And this is I forget what this was. triple D. Alright. That's because McCall's are I wouldn't, let's put it this way, I'm not a 38 triple D in other brands of bra. McCall is different. McCall is made different, and it's, but these ones, whatever these ones are, I bought 2 of them. I bought one, and then I liked it, and I think I got another one when I was at Joe's from Nordstrom's. Had it sent in the mail, but I need new bras, and I will not get new bras through the mail unless I know what size I'm in, unless I go and get measured. And that's a trip and a half. Everything's a trip and a half in public transportation. You don't have a car. Everything's an ordeal. It's supposed to be in the hundreds tomorrow, at least up to it, and it's supposed to be humid. Humid and like close to 100. I love the sunshine. I love the heat. I loved living in LA. I loved living in California. Just I was an asshole, you know. But I love the weather. I wouldn't want to be there now. I'm aware of what's happening there now. In all areas. Let's put it that way. He thought it was still with Donald and his mother when this shit hit. God, thank God. In here. Put a bra on, so I changed into a different top because if there's enough time, I will talk to you a little bit and I'll wear a different top than I was wearing last night, but I'm still in the same pants, same pajamas. I was about to go back to sleep, and then the door knocked, and I'm like, I know that's something. It's the printer, or it's the chicken broth, it's something, because they didn't continue knocking. That would be somebody who's trying to reach you. It's the delivery people, because remember I have the big thing on the door, please knock. Oh. So this is going to be 40 pounds of box and chicken broth, and... It's not sleeping enough. You say, that's your own fault. Well, everything's my own fault. Of course it's my own fault. But I haven't touched a drop of alcohol in a year and a half. Over a year and a half. So that's impressive. At least to me. This is a giant fucking box. Please let it not be leaking. Please let people be smart enough to have not piled these on top of each other. Please let it not be. Please, 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 please. My mom's friend gave her flowers, and 2 sets, and they were so beautiful. And then we didn't know how much to water them, and we had one of them died. Okay. But then the other one was beautiful, and now they're dying. And my mom's all upset. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not a green thumb, but I really don't think that flowers that you stick in a pot, like flowers in the wild can grow forever. My common sense tells me flowers that you stick in a pot just are not meant to last forever. I don't know how long they're supposed to last, but, you know, we've had these probably maybe a couple of months. I don't think they're supposed to last forever. Then they get depressing because they're dead and you don't want them out there. But my common sense tells me that. Because it's not growing as it was intended to grow, like from original. It's you cut it and now it's, I don't know. I don't know. I need to get this heavy box inside here. Alright, the print is pretty damn heavy. Am I really going to want to walk to buses and walk and carrying this? Not likely. Richard, that guy, said that, he's like, well, FedEx will actually come and pick it up, but they're going to charge you something. Because they're letting me ship this all back for free, which is cool. It's not, like I said, it's not brand new, it's refurbished, but refurbished, they check over, you know. I got the camera for free, but I had to ship out the original camera, and I had to, and they, not for free, and I had to insure it, because it was $160 when I had to, but they sent me a brand new one. Remember that I did at Joe's. And the volume went on my camera. I did that at Joe's, right? I believe so. Yeah, I did, and I got a brand new fucking camera. And it was towards the end of my year, too. And then, if this new camera they sent me went, that would be it. You can only do it within your 1-year warranty. So, I was joking with Richard. I'm like, imagine if this printer does the same goddamn thing. Plus, like I said, I'm not good at, I was going to hire that guy from my mom's church, pay him another $20, $25 or whatever, just to put the ink in my printer. Because I don't know how to do it. I don't want to fuck it up. And Richard's like, you can call us up and we'll walk you through it. All right, well, if I'm lucky, I'll get you, but I doubt it. Probably get somebody who doesn't understand and doesn't want to be on the phone with me and doesn't understand that I really am not good at shit like that. My mind is not mechanical. My mind is not mechanical and not math. It's English and writing and creativity in that direction. Since I was 8 years old, since I was a little girl. And the fact that it amounted to nothing and I amounted to being a total fucking poor as a church mouse nobody is a testament not to my lack of talent. It's a testament to my just too many fucked up things happen in my life where I shouldn't even be here at this point. Oh God, it's too heavy. I can't even lift it. Not wearing underwear under these white things. I hope it's not see-through. Not enough to care more about the bugs coming in while I try to get this 40-pound box in. It's heavy, and I'm scared. Not scared.